Magic pussy. Magic pussy. Hey, yeah. Wine and dine me. Private jet me. Yacht day me. Star day me. Designer bag me. Diamond ice me. Brand new house me. Cause I'm a wifey. Magic pussy.
And we are back. Welcome to another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Magic pussiers out there.
That's
We have the magic stick back in the day with 50 Cent, and now nutmeg
Yeah.
to the magic pussy.
Yeah, we do.
We are here. Welcome to another episode of Do You Mind If I Call You Bitch? The podcast, the platform for Black women and women of color to be able to come and not only be able to speak their minds, but represent their hoods.
That's right.
My name is Rudy Wilson. Rudy Willy Nilly Wonka is where you can find me on Instagram. I know I have it spelled out like it's my actual name, but it's not. Then we got Meggie Megs.
Meggie Megs right here, ladies and gentlemen. And you can find me on Instagram at Megums. And that was my song, Magic Pussy by Nutmeg, which is available on all streaming platforms. So go ahead and watch the music video, listen to the song, all your digital devices and shit.
All your digital devices and shit.
Yeah.
Do you want to let them know where they could find you right now if this was live, or are you going to keep that on the hush?
Oh, I mean, y'all want to know where I'm at right now? Yeah! I can show y'all where I'm at right now real quick. Because, I want it to be professional, dog. But since you want to shout me out and let people know where I'm at, I'm going to let the people know where I'm at. As of right now, I'm on the motherfucking island. I'm in motherfucking Puerto Rico, bitch.
Okay, let us see it. Let us see.
Okay, well, can I switch the cam? Can I turn the camera around? No, I can't.
No.
But welcome.
Okay.
Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Puerto Rico.
Oh, you lit.
We on an island.
Yeah. On the
island.
Hey, you the first person on this podcast, really on any podcast, but definitely on this podcast, even more particularly, that has ever done a podcast from an island.
Period. And I'm trying to set the standards for all podcasts to come. Because
What better person to be there than a Black woman on this Black ass woman podcast, huh?
Exactly.
What better? That's called representation. That's what
it is.
That's what Hollywood don't understand. It's called
that's what they don't get. And that's why we're still in this fight for equality.
Are we though?
I mean, it's a never-ending fight. It's a never-ending fight.
I don't even think we're necessarily in the fight no more. I think us as Black people, we're more in we're more playing chess. We're more in a chess game than a fight. Cause see, back in our ancestors, and I'm not even talking about you don't even have to go as far back as slavery, but like just the civil rights days, if you want to categorize it, they alone did enough fighting for us. They literally was out there fighting, or at least getting beat on, or whatever the case may be, depending on if they were running from Martin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But either way, they did the fighting. So now we don't necessarily have to be physical. They can. I'm not saying, but it's not as relevant nowadays. But we can now use this.
Be inside mind.
We can use this, and we can get a lot further thanks to the fighting. That the OGs did for us.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Because if I ever got hit or had a fucking what is them thing fire hydrant water sprayed on me, listen, I don't know. I don't think this generation could live in that generation. I'm just gonna leave that at that.
We've had the privilege though, like, cause see, we've never like
even.
You know what I'm saying, right? Because back, you gotta understand, like a lot of them were either the result of. Or were cause I've like them themselves or maybe like their parents or grandparents had just got done with slavery. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're like, oh, this is the freedom that they give us. Let us be humble with, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like they were still trying to ease their way into it because they still yeah, they were free, but they still couldn't eat certain places,
right?
food, whatever, blah, blah.
They
So
were
it was like,
free-ish.
right. I mean, we're free now, but
Yeah,
it was even more of a sundown town. Like you can't be in this
yeah,
town, after a certain time, or the police can
yeah,
kill you. Now we
yeah.
ain't talking about citizens. We're talking about
Nah.
the police will kill
With
you.
every legal right, that they would have all legal rights to
Exactly.
shoot your black ass because you a black motherfucker in they motherfucking town and you black.
Exactly. You
at
feel
night.
me? At night. So yeah, man. So yeah, we can be more strategic. You feel me? And we can we can be out this bitch. You feel me? I think the biggest blessing I be thinking about. You can tell me how you feel about this, and then we can get on to the topic of the day. I am so glad people can make they call us millennials, whatever, blah 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 blah. I'm so glad that I was born in the era of the internet.
Okay.
Because especially for anybody going down the route that's not just say a traditional job. And the reason why I'm saying that because I'm not even using the word entrepreneur because like if you go to the NFL or NBA, that's not entrepreneurship, that's a job. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Yeah, that's a career.
very high paying job. You
You're a professional athlete. That's
exactly.
your career.
Exactly. So so it's not even necessarily about having to be working for yourself, but if you're not going after the traditional route in the sense of I show up to a job, whether it's a bank, whether it's a school, whether it's a whatever, and I'm there from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're not doing that, you're doing more of like an entertainment, whether it's through sports, whether it's through music, whether it's through acting, comedy, whatever. This right here gives us an advantage.
Absolutely.
The OGs ain't have. You know what I'm saying? And they were getting stuff done. Like they were doing vaudeville and whatever else. And they were putting the blackface on their face, even though they was already black, just to try to whatever. But if they would have had this back then, and with the knowledge that we have to operate it, I think it would have been a game changer for them even earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's the reason why they had what they had. It's an evolution thing. We can't just give 5Gs to 1920. Imagine the white people.
What I'm saying, but I'm saying, but even if you just take those same people and let them live now is what I'm saying. We don't necessarily have to put Wi-Fi in the 1920s because that's a good point. White people have been there like, oh, we got the internet.
Let's be socially racist. Let's be virtually racist.
Right.
Let's burn steaks on somebody's email.
Imagine that white people literally making money off of YouTube because YouTube would be racist because it would be a white owned thing back then. They're making money off of YouTube off of viral videos of lynching niggas.
Yeah.
That would be a real fucking thing.
That would stress me out. You're stressing me out on my Puerto Rican island right now.
Okay, last thing, but have you ever seen the pictures with like they had like the black dude hanging and all the white people turning to have their face in the camera? Like it's like a bunch of white people standing. You ain't never seen them pictures before, like them old pictures.
Oh yeah. Of course I have.
A slave, whoever hanging, and it's like 50 white people, and they're not facing him, they're facing the camera because they know that somebody's taking a picture. Like this is almost like you know what I'm saying. They're doing this. You feel me? Like
they're like selfies.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So just imagine if they were able to capitalize off of that photo or something like you can on the internet now.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, bro, that would be.
That's the world I want to live in.
That would have set us back.
Yeah. More so than what we are already.
Yeah.
Man,
that's. I be getting high, on this podcast and getting deep.
yeah. We took a turn. We supposed to be talking about hell. We already talking about viral lynching videos. That ain't what we supposed to be out here.
You're absolutely right. So how about you? How about we do this? How about you recap our new listeners and old listeners on what we talked about last week so that we can translate
absolutely. Well, last week we touched on the subject of weave, and I believe you said something along the lines of like, why do women or black women wear weave?
European.
European
Right.
hairstyles, right? So that's my point that I was given or that I made was we've been conditioned because of society to wear our hairs in the European standards of beauty because that's how we grew up with. Every young girl on Easter Sunday morning had a hot comb to their head and their ears were scalped by the time they went to church. Their ears was burned by the time they went to church. Okay,
Right.
And continue to growing up as an adult. As for me, I can only speak for myself as a natural person. I wear European quote unquote hairstyles because it's a protective style. And I like to correlate weaves or wigs to baseball hats or like hats or whatever. It's something you can just put on and take off, Now, Rudy, on the other hand, you want to dive deeper in this, right? That's what we diving a little deep.
Well, I wanted to dive deeper into so the topic for today actually stemmed from something that you brought up last week in reference to like saying that because you basically asked something like at the end in reference to like how do I feel about like if women use their natural hair but then straighten it, with a hot comb or with
silk press, etc.
What's it called?
Perms.
Perm, right.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say creamy crack because of what you said last week, but I was trying to think of the actual word.
Because that's what it is. Right. That's
so
what
perm, it is. And stuff like that. But before we touch that, I do want to just kind of reiterate from last week. Number one, okay, Rudy Wilson is not against weave. Okay, that's nothing to do with weave. But I will say that I did pose a question because I'm not going to say I have a problem with, but I do think that it goes against the Black agenda for Black women, whether in power or nobody knows you at all. It's not. I know we kind of brought up like Cardi B and them, whatever, but I'm not even talking about just them, just whoever. I don't think you're a bad person for wearing the European style hair, whether it's a weave. But it is a contradiction to me in the same sense of how celebrities, male or female, Black celebrities will say, buy Black, support Black business, but they promote everything white or French or whatever that they wear. They're saying Dior. They're saying
like Louis Vuitton. Yeah. Buy Black.
Nobody, but if you got caught wearing Master P clothes, you'll probably get made fun of. You know what I'm saying?
What was his label?
Well, I'm saying, he got a new one. He got a newer one now, which the newer stuff is way better than the older stuff. But what I'm saying is, like in general, like we had everything that we had, whether it was FUBU, Fat Farm, whatever like that. All of them, none of them lasted forever. You know why? Because to us, like it's kind of like it's not because it doesn't cost $1 billion per shoelace. You know what I'm saying? We feel like it's not the thing that you should brag about. But my whole thing is this: like, if you, and I don't want to get too deep into the whole buying Black thing, but I'm getting to the whole agenda. So let me just go back to the hair. We can talk about the money stuff later.
Yeah.
Going back to the hair.
Put a pin in that.
I felt right. Put a pin in that. It's another podcast. But I do feel like in that same sense, if we're going to push the Black agenda, like everybody seems to be on board now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more people are more accepting of being from Africa as opposed. I remember back when I was younger, everybody was like, I ain't from Africa. I'm from America. You know,
right. You from Georgia, like shit.
Exactly. So I do think that if normalizing the European style on a Black woman, and without, I guess, with me feeling like you could wear the weave or wig or whatever, but it just be a more African, our natural hair looking, I would say, texture. Style. To me, I just feel like that pushes our agenda. Once again, if you wear it, I'm not criticizing you, but I do think it is. I don't think it helps at all.
You know, I want to say something right now because I just thought of it. Like, there are Africans and Black people who have bone straight hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the majority,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the problem. I think that's where the problems come into, because it's like, when you think of Black hair, you think of fro, braids, naps, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Length and straight isn't automatically associated with it, because that's just what we don't see. It's, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring it back to conditioning, because like, if the first image of an African person brought to America was one of those Africans who have those wavy, curly,
Mm-hmm.
loose hair, and that was the majority. Maybe the colonizers went to that part of Africa and they got all the curly haired niggas. They brought all the curly haired niggas back, right?
Right.
So from the dawn of time, Black hair will be associated with the naturally curly, wavy, whatever, good hair. But you know, them colonizers ain't pick up the wavy haired niggas. They picked up the nappy head niggas, you know.
Right.
And you know, it's just a matter of like, you know, that's just the majority of what was on display, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna go with that.
Right, but what I'm still saying is, and like this is just strictly just to kind of touch back on the last week thing. Because we were my point of bringing it up is because I feel like, and it's not that Black women look unattractive with it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you even look like a white woman with it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you look. It ain't like you transform and it's like, oh man, she's trying to look white. It doesn't look like that. But I feel like it does. It takes away the pride, in what our hair does look like. Because I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, the reason why I have this hat on is because most of the time my hair is not done. It's some little braids that I just put it into, you know, in the middle. By the time I sleep, you know, throughout the week, this is probably gonna come loose. So you know what I'm saying? I just, but this is literally a hat to cover up
your pride.
Right,
but covering up your pride, boy.
But I'm not covering up with other hair. This is literally just like my hair isn't done, and you can low key tell, but you can still see this is me. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I don't, and for whatever reason, I've never done the DNA, whatever, but I don't. I've seen nothing but Black people are in my family on both sides. Like from who I've met, what I've seen, pictures I've seen from people who died before I was alive, type of thing. Yeah, all Black people. I ain't seen a Spanish, white, nothing. But I have, but I don't have the traditional like nappiest, what's considered nigga hair.
You have softer.
Yeah, I have naturally curly. The wavy, you know what I'm saying? Like I got that type of hair, you know what I'm saying? But I got two Black parents, you know what I'm saying? With both of their parents, my grandparents, Black. These is no whatever. So, so I'm not really sure how it snuck in. I don't know if it's Native American. I don't know. But the point I'm making is that I do think that it's more of a let me hide my shit so that I look like a something, as opposed to no, you can like me for this. And people don't want to be liked for who they are. Let's just be real. And that's
true.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's true. People do try and camouflage or try and create a new identity, you know. Black women, but it's two sides of the spectrum, okay? Yeah, some women try to hide who they are, try to hide their nappy nigga shit because they're not proud of it, because they're ashamed of it, because they want to be something else. On the other hand, Black women have variety is the spice of life, okay? Black women change their hair. I remember when when I had money, I used to get my hair done every 3 weeks.
Right.
Every 3 weeks, my hair would be done. Now, is it by just because you know, I'm balling and I got it like that I can get my hair done every 3 weeks? Possibly. Or maybe Black women, we get bored. You hear a lot of women say, "Oh, I get bored with my hair," or "I get tired of doing my natural hair." Natural hair is a sport. Okay. It takes time, energy, money, resources, and upper body strength to actually commit to doing your natural hair every day. So I'm going to speak for the natural hair women, because it's not as easy as it is to wake up and just brush your hair straight and then go out the door. No, we have to take at least 30 minutes to an hour to get your shit looking right the day before.
I got natural hair. I know. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so it's like, I don't think it's a matter of hiding anything. I think it's a matter of being, you know, just it's hard. You know, a black woman.
But see, I'm gonna still challenge that. I'm gonna let you talk, but okay. Remember, I'm not saying don't wear a wig and weave, but it's the choice of style that you're choosing is where my issue is, because you can still wear the baseball hat of a wig. But it can look, because my mom literally has wigs that, and my mom not bald head at all, but she has wigs that when she wear, like, I see white women all the time, they think that's her hair. Like, oh man, how'd you get your hair like that? That's one.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I've never had this conversation with my mom about hair, nothing. That's just whatever. But my whole thing is
just have some research. Maybe you should as research.
But my whole thing is that I feel with the hairstyle you have now, I've seen you with your natural hair, you know, and you don't have the nappiest niggish hair, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying?
It can be sometimes.
But what I'm saying, but your hair is thick, you know what I'm saying? Like your hair, it's different between nappy and thick. Like my hair is thick. My sister got thick hair. Like I know thick hair, but that's different than some people who literally, like I've seen people try to comb their hair or try to grow a fro and they just don't grow that because it's just, you know, it's just whatever. So it is, but once again, if you want to throw on the baseball hat of a wig or weave or whatever like that, I feel like the same choice that you made to get those, or it can be creative. I don't know what all styles there are. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like if that was more pushed and the European styles were more secondary, do you have to get rid of them totally? Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's the standard, especially if you want to be seen, especially if you want to be an Instagram model, especially whatever
absolutely.
That's the standard. So
now I can speak for myself. I have a wig that looks like my hair exactly. Like I have headshots with a wash and go look, and then I have a wig that's a wash and go. I mean, I guess this just adds to your point. Like I wear that because them white people think it's the same thing.
Right.
I put the wig on and they look at my headshot and they're like, "Oh my God, your hair grew."
Right.
So, I mean, I think because of the natural hair movement that happened recently, you know, we'll say over the last 10 years. The last 10 years, there's been a natural hair movement where like bitches have been getting away. They've been leaving the creamy crack, you know, they've been wearing their natural hair and, you know, they've been, you know, proud of what they have to offer to the world. But they still gonna slap on their wig and have a 20-inch bone strain wig when they go out on a Friday night, because that's the environment. You know, when you go out to a club before COVID, you know, when you went out to places and, you know, it was hot, sweaty, packed, you're not going to wear your hair out because your hair is going to poof. Okay. There's factors. There's environment. There's humidity. There's moisture. We can't get our hair wet. You know, but when we wear a straight bone wig,
But answer this though. Answer this for me. I still don't have the answer for. But why does it have to be that style?
Because it's a choice.
But no. But I'm saying, but there's a root to that choice. Is what I'm saying. I get that you're choosing that, but I'm saying, is it more of an influence? Because like a lot of, speaking from a male's perspective, a lot of males who are not even from the hood, black males, will want to be from the hood because it's respected amongst their heroes.
Right.
Majority of the athletes, you know what I'm saying? They grow up without fathers in the hood. Majority of the rappers, you know, without fathers in the hood. So like if you 2-parent household, you know, you ain't rich, but you just in a, you know, nice, decent,
you're comfortable.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. Like you kind of like, dang man, I ain't, you know.
I ain't got no struggles, but I can ball. I can ball.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you know, it's like you don't get that same level of whatever. So it's kind of like I'm wondering on the women's side of things, where I just want to know where is that stemming from? Like, is it an all around thing? Like, number one, we don't think black men think it's attractive. Number two, we don't get accepted in a job. Number three, you won't just say get likes on Instagram. Is it like a whole package thing like that, or can it
all
just
the above?
But I'm saying, is that all the above for everybody collectively, or do you think?
Well, you can't really ask a question about everybody.
No, listen. I don't mean 100%, but I'm saying the majority, like the mindset of the black woman. Like, do you see majority people catering to just men, just job, whatever, or are all of them catering to majority of them catering to everything?
I think majority is catering to everything and basically what's socially acceptable. Okay, so socially acceptable would be straight hair, part to the side. You can pull it back in a ponytail. Go about your day. That's in the job. That's in the job setting. That's when a man is looking at you. You want to look good. Your hair's straight, neat, and done, and your baby hairs is laid. And then that's for on actors or whatever. You're not. It's only up till recently you're finding actors who are leading roles with the big ass fro. Like, you're not gonna find all of that. You're gonna find a leading lady with a straight hair or a straight weave, and maybe her best friend has braids, or her best friend. It's always the secondary. The natural look is always secondary because of conditioning. That's society. That's the dawn of time. Since slavery, they've been trying to get Negro hair straight. Okay. And that's just a transition that we're changing. It's starting to change, but it's not because women are still getting perms. Women are still going to the hair store and buying, straight hair. It's just, it's an evolution that hasn't been evolved yet as far as owning the natural state of hair and owning how it looks when you wake up in the morning as opposed to getting it straight and pressed or whatever the case is.
Speaking of transitions, what's considered natural?
What's considered natural?
The reason why I asked it like this is because obviously we know what it means to wear your natural hair, no matter what race or ethnicity you are. You just wear the head that grew out your head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But in reference to the black woman, like you just touched on, getting the hair straightened, whether it's through the creamy crack, straight iron. Funny story about a straight iron. I remember the first time I grew my hair out when I was younger, because leading up to when I had the dreads when I was older, my female cousin, had like old school, like on the
iron,
straight iron, straight iron my hair, whatever like that, and like my hair was so like long and wavy at the time. I remember, like, not wavy, but long and like
luxurious,
like laid down like over my face. And I remember like we went swimming immediately after that, and I went down in the water and tried to come up and almost drowned because I literally could not swim to the top because my hair was suffocating in my nose. I had to literally it was deadly. All because of that. Anyways, yeah, I've almost killed myself in pools a lot of times doing backflips.
Sure. We'll have to do a topic on that.
When you think about all the stuff you survived as a kid, it makes you afraid to have kids. Like, dang, are my kids gonna have to go through all that?
Listen, and the earth is burning up. They might not even have clean air by the time.
Right.
Shit.
But I wanted to touch on. We brought it up at the end of the last episode. Is that considered like still, I guess, not necessarily natural because it is your natural hair, but is that still helping the agenda or hurting the agenda in the sense of if you either just say have the natural fro or whatever it is that you normally wear, and like say, like you wear your natural hair, but whenever you do decide to put on weave, you immediately switch to the European thing, whether it's like a wig or whatever. And or the other side of that is if you do just automatically wear your natural hair no matter what, but you get it either permed or straightened.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. So when you have a natural hair, you don't get it permed. Okay. The perming is the chemical process of taking it from its curly straight to the straight. And with people with straight hair, it's actually the opposite. If you get a perm and you're a white woman, your hair is going to be curly, right? So once you apply chemicals, it's not natural anymore. That's done, dead, over with, right?
Okay.
Yeah. That's the first part. That's about perms. Okay. Second part is, black women, like I can get a silk press or I can flat iron and straighten and hot comb or whatever my hair. But once you get in water, it goes back to its chemical. It goes back to its original state. Like you can't like what you did. You went and got your hair straightened, and then you went in the pool. That's like, listen, as a black woman, and if you was a kid and you was a girl, and then I straightened your hair for goddamn hour and 30 minutes, and then you went and jumped into a pool. Oh no, you would have.
Well, for one, it wasn't an hour and 30 minutes worth of straightening. I used to be a little tender-headed back in the day. So like when she was trying to like straighten it to give it more length so that she wouldn't have to, I guess, pull on the whatever, the curliness
when she's
or whatever.
braiding it.
Right, trying to braid it, but then I still just never got it done, basically, was what happened. So,
yeah, because you went swimming and now you came back.
I made the decision to not get it done before going swimming. That's what I'm saying. This was not a black girl moment. You don't have to kill me, all right?
I'm just saying, you just did an anti-black girl moment where you got your hair straight and then you went swimming.
Well, that's why I don't have a magic pussy, okay?
30 minutes. Yeah, cool. I'll meet you. Okay. It's Puerto Rico activity going on, and I'm over here on this podcast. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. You're making me sad on the Puerto Rican activities. Back to the topic at hand.
So the cream and crack, you're automatically no longer natural. So now we're at the straightening and the flat iron. You're saying
straightening and the flat iron. That's a choice that you're making, and that is. Let's put a time frame. You get your hair straightened out. Realistically, it's gonna last you 2 weeks if you don't do nothing to it, right? But then you obviously at the end of the day, once you're done with the hairstyle, you have to wash your hair, and then your hair reverts back to its natural state. So that is definitely considered natural, and you can tell when a woman's gotten a straight press or whatever, because that's all they could do. That's all they could do. That's all they doing. They just doing. That's all they doing. Why I can feel my scalp. Why look at my lens. And women do that honestly. For a length check, like they just want to see how long their hair is, when it's not tightly coiled, or it's cold. When it's a cold front, bitches be getting them silk pressed because it's cute and it lasts longer in the cold air.
Is that why women do that on Instagram? Because I've always wondered that. Like, definitely when they get their hair done, but anytime women get dressed or anything, like for one, they just look in the camera back and forth, like with their mouth halfway open, like this, and then they always like it's always right. And I was wondering, like, is that because trends are a thing? You know what I'm saying? Like all it takes is for one person to do it, and we do it. I wore white tees back in the day. I wore Air Force Ones back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm not above trends, but I'm what is that just a thing? Or
it's I guess it is a thing. It's something that one person did and they were like, oh my God, wow, I can do that too. And let me
but I'm asking on the flip side, or is that to what you just said, black women really just because they don't normally have that freedom
exactly 90 there's 365 days out the year. Maybe 340 of them, they will never see their scalp. They will never touch their scalp. So them last little 2 days, 20 days, you get to, you see what's going on down there. You can feel it,
Right.
So, yeah, it's just, it's something that it's a texture that they're not used to. Like even as a kid, Brittany, she was on the show. She recently got her daughter's hair flat iron or whatever, silk pressed. And the girl was sitting there in the mirror like this the whole time. The whole time she was sitting here in the mirror like this, just running her fingers through her hair because it's something that she's never experienced before. So it's a vanity, it's an ego thing. And it's just, like, okay, so this is what we're working with. I think that's what women feel like when they get their natural hair straight.
So I just thought of something. So if black women, when they get their hair into a different form than it naturally is, they feel it a lot because it's different. And I get that. 100%. So why do y'all get offended when white women want to touch y'all hair?
because we don't know where their raggedy ass dirty hands been. You just gonna let any person run their fingers through your hair? That's not a thing. We ain't dogs.
But it ain't even got nothing to do with dirty hands. I've seen black women get offended that a white woman wants to touch her hair because it's a different texture than what she's used to. But what you're saying to me is y'all doing the same thing to your own hair.
Because it's our own hair. No, Rudy, come on. No.
We're not we're not talking about sanitary. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about it could be a white person that you're familiar with. It's not about it being a stranger. They probably pick their nose. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I've been in the presence of black women who've had conversations about how offensive it is that a white woman wants to touch her hair because it's not, because it's not white hair, whatever, it's black hair. They almost feel like that's like, some
your pet.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. But y'all are doing the same thing to when you put in a different texture hair of your own. That's what I'm saying.
No,
you're literally putting in European hair and saying, "Oh shit, this is different."
Okay, because we can do that.
But so now white women got to get black hair so they can stroke their own hair.
Listen, you don't see white women going to white women, running their fingers through their hair after every different hair. What if they got streaks or whatever, or they got extensions, or they get a bob or a bang or whatever. White women don't go up to white women and be like, "Oh my God, I love what you've done with your hair." Yeah, they don't do that. They get their hair done.
Yeah, because
white women don't play in white women hair. So why do white women have to play in black women's hair?
Listen, but this is what I'm saying. You're saying that y'all only stroke y'all hair when it does not feel like your natural hair. Okay, so a white woman, there's no way for a white woman to get nappy hair, whether she get weave or anything. Her hair
she can get a perm.
It will never feel like black people's hair. So she can never do this on Instagram and feel how thick her hair is now.
She can't boing. She can't.
But y'all can go from thick hair to thin hair, and have an understandable reason of why you want to feel it, because it's something you've never felt before. That's the same thing that she's doing. It's something that she's never felt before.
Well, she need to find no. That it don't work that way. It don't work that way.
You just don't want it to work. You have no real reason why. You just don't. You just feel like it's offensive. Black people just.
It is offensive. You don't run around. You don't. No matter what your curiosity is in any realm, you just don't go to it and colonize it like it's yours. Let's use the word colonize. I taught my 7-year-old niece the word colonize because we was at a restaurant and it was nothing but white people on the walls, and she was like, "Who is that?" And I was like, "It's a colonizer." So now she knows the word colonizer.
Yeah,
we all
just started saying that after Black Panther came out.
It fits. It fits.
But that's what I'm saying. But I'm not talking about colonizers. This is literally what I'm saying, and we can end it. This is what I'm saying. I'm already preaching against the European weave in the first place, right? Okay. So hear me from this stance. So what you're saying to me is that when a black girl gets her hair either straightened or done with the European style, and it's no longer in the texture of her thick, I can't feel my scalp, whatever mode that you were talking about, that you don't get the experience for 346 days, whatever. She's going from that mode to straight, and now I can feel it mode, which is something that she's not accustomed to. And because she's not accustomed to it, she can't help but want to continue to feel it because it's not something that she's accustomed to. Okay. Now, for a white woman, she does not have the option that a black woman has to go from straight, I can feel my scalp hair, to nappy, I can't feel my scalp hair. She can't do that to her own head. There's no way for it to happen. Perm, whatever. Only way she can do it is to really be fucked up and just go buy an afro wig or some shit.
Well, then she needs to do that.
That would be too much to me.
Why?
Why? You buying a wig, an afro wig to wear?
To satisfy your curiosity? Then do that. Do that, Becky. Go and get you your kinky curly hair and platinum blonde.
So if she can't do that, because if a white woman was ever seen walking around with some black wig on, everybody would say she's a culture vulture, colonizer. She would be dogged out. Okay, let's be real. So the only hair that she has to be able to have that same experience that you black girls are having in your own head, it's on your head. Now I'm not listen. Let me finish. I'm almost done. I'm not saying that you have to allow anybody, red, black, blue, or green, to touch you head or hair or not. I'm not, it has nothing to do with that. But I'm saying, how are y'all allowed to put their hair in your head and feel it? But it's incorrect for them to want to feel your hair that's on your head.
You know what's incorrect, Rudy? Bringing Africans to America.
Absolutely.
Okay? And because of that, we have all the rights to do whatever the fuck we want.
But are we representing us being able to do what the fuck we want by appearing
taking what's theirs and then
like them?
We are expressing the fact that we can do whatever the fuck we want now that we're free people, because we can take something that they had and we put it in and we make it our own.
You already admitted that this was conditioning. This was
but now we are taking back.
That's not us taking it. That's us accepting how we were conditioned. Let's just
we gotta agree to disagree. We gotta agree to disagree on that.
No, you're agreeing to disagree because you just don't want to agree. But that has nothing to do with the fact that, once again, I don't think that anybody's going to hell. I don't think you're a bad person. I don't think you want to be white or any of those things just because you have straight hair or the European style wig or weave. I am not saying that at all. If you wore it for the rest of your life, I would not look at you any differently. I would not be like, yo, you the problem. I'm not going to harass. I'm not going to harass anybody. But what I am saying on this topic is that I feel like for us to have this, oh man, black people, we can have if we just. I feel like we have to be all in or all out. You know what I'm saying? In everything. Like if we're going to like represent black culture or black whatever, then let's do that in everything, or let's just not. Let's stop making it such a big deal like that's the agenda. Because once again, you're going back to the whole buying black thing, but then you pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like everybody's level of success is what can I show? Like, oh, I got my first, check. So now I got the Louis belt. So you can see that, when I walk around. And then next time I'll probably get the little bag. And the next time I get the hat that say Balenciaga. You know what I'm saying? That's the cheapest thing in the store. But if you see me with that, you're going to think that's money. It's a symbol. You feel what I'm saying? But none of that stuff is black people stuff is what I'm saying.
So you just want to see more black shit symbolizing wealth or standard. I
want black people to support black people the same way that their mouth says so, is what I'm saying. Because we don't. Every time, if we literally were taking something that white people had, but then making it our own and making it black, that's one thing.
But let me say something about that. They don't have much. All they have is hair. All they have is visual.
But they also control that though, and that's a big thing in the job force in the movies. That is why movie stars are who they are. White workers are indifferent. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is about a look, no matter what. Even if you're casting for a role, whatever like that, but the determination of what's beautiful or not is controlled by them, and it starts a lot of time, especially with women, with the hair. Because like black dudes, we can be famous and have nappy hair. It happens all the time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no pressure. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to women, it's not the same thing. And I'm not saying that you have to walk around with the shortest, nappiest fro. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying that if we're going to push the agenda, this is a big part of it, because I agree. Women are only doing this because of the conditioning. It's part of black men's fault because of us wanting it. It's part of the job force. It's part of white people in general. Whatever. Like it's there's multiple hands in this pot of fault.
Oh
but at the same time, I just want to make my statement of I don't think that it's helping, but I don't think that anybody is a bad person if you comply for whatever reason, whether because you feel like you have to, or you just really just like it, or you don't give a fuck about what I say. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever the situation is, I feel like that's just me. So
yeah. It's a matter. It's a change that isn't gonna happen within the next 100 years. I don't think so. It can start. I feel like ever since, let's go from 70s, the 70s, black is beautiful, I'm black and I'm proud, right? That was an era where your fro did symbolize beauty. We had the first Miss Black America pageant, and then the white people labeled that as racist. So it's a matter of, I think we can say that black people have always tried to put we put our attributes, our hair, our culture, our whatever, we put that out there for the world to see. And what does the world do? The world condemns it as ghetto, tacky, nappy,
Yeah,
ugly.
but you can say the same thing about what women are doing now. Like women are, with the hot girl summer, whatever the case may be, and as much as it's getting dogged out, it ain't stopping nobody. Because that's what y'all want to do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to wear the natural hair. Y'all don't want to wear the black looking style. And I'm saying not you personally, I'm saying just as a whole.
Majority of the girls do not want
that's not what y'all even want. For whatever reason, whether it was conditioning or whatever, y'all don't even want it. But if it's something that y'all want bad enough, y'all will push it because they're like, oh man, WAP is this horrible song. Okay, yeah, then we're gonna make another one like this, and we're gonna still be ourselves. I'm gonna still have my ass out the next video. I'm still have my titties out the next video. Because that's who I am, and that's what I want to portray.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if black women wanted to portray like I said, the more African style, even if you wore weave or sew-in or whatever that was super long, but it had this thick whatever type of look or whatever. Like, all of that type of stuff to me, I feel like is doable without having to compromise.
I want to say something to that because I don't know. There's a series on Netflix. It's called The Bridgerton. It's about a British family, right? Did you watch? Have you seen it?
My sister watched it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the queen is a black woman, and all her wigs are elaborately afro, the afro naps and the kinky, and then she had a dread wig. Now I can say that one character and that one representation of she is a black woman, and all her elaborate hair was done up in a black style, quote unquote. That's progress. Because I've never seen that on television.
Yeah.
I've never seen that on TV. And for Netflix,
out there thinking like your boy. That's why. That's
okay, because slowly it's gonna progress. Like that was just one show out of the 50 million shows that are out right now.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you want to be in my movies? Don't come in here with that white weave. That shit is okay. You starting in my movies.
Hey man, you need to be the change.
I ain't saying you gotta look like a Peter, but I'm just saying you gonna be.
We need to be accountable, and we need to be the change that we want to see in the future.
Absolutely,
and that's it.
Period.
And that one, just as far as this topic, and we're talking about hair. That one hairstylist, costume director, whatever, they knew that. They knew if they saw royalty, a woman of stature, a woman of status, and she's the ruler of all these people in this motherfucking white ass town.
Right.
And she got her dreadlocks dreaded up to the gods with jewels and shit. That is a step in the right direction. So kudos to that person. I'm gonna look up the name and I'm gonna go ahead and give a formal shout out.
You feel me?
Because that's important.
On the right
that's important to see. Yeah. And I think that's a good way to sum it all up with that one.
That works, man. That works. Cool beans, man. Well, do your outros, man. Let them know where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, I do want to shout out our next guest. We're going to continue the topic of hair care. And the next guest that is going to come along is a hairstylist in South Florida. She does natural hair, she does straight hair, she does all the kinds of hair things. So to get more in depth, this whole entire podcast ain't gonna be about hair, but we're gonna end it with her. We're gonna end it with her as far as this topic is discussed. Her name's Grace. She's gonna be on next week. Gotcha. And just to shout her out real quick. But as for me, you can find my Puerto Rican ass in Puerto Rico for the next couple of days, bitch. But you can find me on Instagram at Meggums, Meggumz. You can go to YouTube and find my YouTube page, which is Spa. That's space SPA. And we talk all massage therapy things. And then you can also find my little hot girl video by motherfucking Nutmeg. And it's Nutmeg Magic Pussy or Magic Pussy by Nutmeg on YouTube. And that's me.
Hey, all the way from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Rudy Willy Nilly Wonka. Shout out to the chocolate factory and everything chocolate, including your hair. But man, follow us at the Chocolate Podcast Network, man. That's where you can find this podcast on YouTube and on Instagram. You can see it spelled there on the screen. And yeah, man, we're gonna be back every single week. Like I said, we're not gonna be doing just all hair, but
it's just a touchy subject. That's all.
Right. But this is a touchy subject, you know, and we're gonna bring in an expert to bring this thing on home for us. So
yes, we are.
So man, yeah, tune in every single week, man. We'll be back. Myself, Meggie Meggs.
Who knows where I'll be next week? We'll find out.
Who knows? Who knows where she'll be? She is the new Carmen Sandiego.
Damn right I am.
You never know. All right, we out.
Magic pussy.
Cool.
Magic
Great.
pussy. Hey, yeah. Wine and dine me. Private jet me.